I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Hannah Neumann and the delegation for relations with Iran for organizing this crucial and urgent discussion. For over 4 decades, the Iranian regime has been directly implicated in numerous extraterritorial assassinations, terrorist plots, and attacks, and the wrongful detention of European citizens. Its targets have included Iranian European dissidents and journalists, but its violence has not been limited to Iranians alone. Even places of worship, such as synagogues, say in Germany, have been targeted under orders from the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC, or what we call in Iran Sepah Pastaran. The Iranian regime has systematically used state-sponsored terrorism as a tool to silence dissent abroad, utilizing intelligence operatives, criminal networks, and proxy groups to carry out assassinations and intimidation campaigns. Terrorist attacks abroad and executions at home are usually carried out when the regime feels weak and under pressure, serving both to instill fear and project strength. 975 people have been killed, executed, only in 2024, last year in Iran. European intelligence agencies have repeatedly uncovered Iranian plots to eliminate opposition figures, revealing a pattern of extraterritorial repression dating back to early 1980s, as Roya explained. High-profile assassinations in Paris, Berlin, Geneva, along with foiled attacks in Belgium, Netherlands, underscored the extensive reach of Iranian security apparatus beyond its borders. In October 2022, a report by ITV in the UK revealed that operatives linked to Iran's IRGC had offered a human trafficker $200,000 to assassinate Iran international journalists Fardad Farahzad and Sima Sabit. The initial plan was to bomb the network's London office, but due to heightened security, the plot shifted to stabbing the journalists. The hired assassins later revealed the plot. On November 9, 2022, Alejo Vidal Cuadras, a high-ranking Spanish official and former MEP and first vice president of the European Parliament, narrowly survived an assassination attempt in broad daylight in Madrid. He immediately accused the Iranian regime of orchestrating the attack. In 2023, following multiple terrorist threats, Iran International TV was forced to temporarily relocate its broadcasting from London to Washington, D.C., demonstrating the severe risks faced by Iranian journalists and activists across Europe. In 2024, Dutch authorities arrested 2 armed men in Haarlem. They were suspected of plotting to assassinate an Iranian journalist and activist residing in the Netherlands. At least 6 Molotov cocktails attacks have been carried out on the NCRI's offices in the last couple of years. These threats and assassinations, as Roya clearly mentioned, are not new. They have been taking place since 1979, in the year of revolution. Shahryar Shafiq, 1979, Paris. Bijan Fazeli, 1986, London. Abdurrahman Qasemlu, 1989, Vienna. Kazem Rajavi, 1990, Geneva. Shapur Bakhtiar Abdulrahman Burumand, 1991, Paris. With my heavy heart, I should say that Roya is daughter of Abdulrahman Burumand, who was assassinated by Iranian regime.
I should have mentioned that.
Sadegh Sharafkandi, 1992, Berlin. Feridun Farrokhzad, 1992, Bonn. I can count it and take 1 hour of your time. There are a lot of names.
More than that.
A lot of names. Moreover, in 2018, Asadullah Assadi, an Iranian diplomat, was arrested in Germany for plotting to bomb a rally of the MEK in France. He was later convicted in Belgium and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Assadi had also used to pay vast amount of cash to the regime operatives by hand, doing it at an Iranian Islamic center in Hamburg. Before every physical attack, the Iranian regime launches an extensive campaign of disinformation. How does this work? Through its cyber army, the regime operates numerous anonymous, high-follower social media accounts dedicated to spreading false narratives and demonizing their targets. Human rights defenders are portrayed as paid operatives. Journalists are accused of collaborating with regime. Female reporters face relentless online sexual harassment and threats. The goal is clear: character assassination before physical assassination. The Iranian regime, in close cooperation with Russia, has also used cyber influence operations to flame religious conflicts within Europe. Part of the controversy surrounding Quran burning in Sweden was fueled by Iranian-controlled online accounts. Our friends in some NGOs just carried out a very detailed research, and it will be published very soon. The Iranian regime has used its diplomatic cover for espionage and terror operations, as demonstrated in the case of Asadullah Assadi, whose conviction in Belgium further exposed the regime's covert activities. At the same time, Iran has systematically engaged in hostage diplomacy, detaining European nationals on dubious charges and using them as bargaining chip in negotiations with Western governments. The release of Asadullah Assadi, who had been sentenced to 20 years in prison in Belgium in exchange for a Belgian national, and release of Hamid Nouri, a criminal convicted for his role in 1988 prison massacre of Iranian political prisoners in Sweden, in exchange for 2 Swedish citizens, emboldened the regime. Iran is now more convinced than ever that it can kidnap European citizens and easily secure the release of convicted terrorists and perpetrators of crimes against humanity. One of the main reasons why European citizens have been taken hostage in Iran for over 40 years is the West's continued policy of appeasement and ransom payment. While some nations have sought to impose sanctions and increase pressures on Iran, others have maintained diplomatic channels in the hope of securing the release of detained nationals and de-escalating tensions. However, Iran's state-sponsored terrorism and espionage remain a major challenge for European security agencies and policy makers. I will cut short. The multi-layered operations, assassinations, hostage diplomacy, cyber warfare, and terrorism highlight the persistent and evolving threats posed by the Islamic Republic of Iran within Europe. The Iranian regime has operated with impunity for too long. It is the time for European policymakers to recognize the scale of this threat and take decisive action. Security agencies must coordinate their efforts, governments must end ransom diplomacy, and legal systems must hold the Iranian regime accountable for its state-sponsored terrorism and transnational repression. The cost of inaction is too high. The time to act is now. I thank you very much.
Thank you for this overview and input, clearly highlighting the scale of what is known, which is already scary enough. And I'm pretty sure there's also a lot of things that we don't even know yet, because even a lot of my friends sometimes are scared to speak out and to go to the security agencies and report what is happening against them.